Welcome to the 360 podcast. This is our 2012 Game of the Year edition. There is myself, Wilbur, and Derek. You guys want to say hi?
Hello.
Hi, we're not dead. Minds were wrong.
Yeah. This is hopefully this won't be too long, but it could get a length. It could be a lengthy episode. I think we should skip currently playing for the time being, unless you guys are just dying to tell what you're playing.
Not really.
No, no.
The way this is gonna work, we're gonna go through the category and each or categories, and each one of us is gonna give our votes for each one of the categories. Sorry if you can hear sirens in the background. I'm outside right now, but anyway.
You're outside right now?
Yeah, the washing machine is on inside, and that's really loud. So
And sirens aren't.
I did not think there was going to be sirens out here. Alright, so let's start off with... Actually, before we get into the actual games, how do you guys think this year, as far as gaming goes, how do you think 2012 was?
I don't know. It was big jump for a lot of games. A lot of new games came out. But so did a lot of like sequels.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It was just a lot of games this year.
I don't think it was like an amazing year, but it definitely was a good year. Had a lot of good games come out.
I mean, it was a good year, but basically it was just sequels of games that we had last year. So it was just the year of the sequels, I guess you could call it.
Yeah. On that note, I guess we'll move into the actual awards. So we'll start off with Best Shooter. And in this category, we have Borderlands 2, Max Payne 3, Black Ops 2, Halo 4, and Resident Evil 6. So I guess I'll go first for this category. Out of these, I picked Max Payne 3. This is a kind of an easy pick for me because of how good Max Payne 3 was. As a shooter, it was just really good. I mean, I don't know if you guys played it. You probably know just how well the shooting and the action was in this game. So Max Payne 3 for me was an easy pick for a best shooter.
Went with Black Ops. But you wanted to go, Derek?
Sure. My best shooter for me was this year was Halo 4, just because it was finally a good Halo game. I mean, I really didn't like Reach. I felt like Halo 4 was what Reach was supposed to be, but Reach I didn't really like. But I do like that there's another Halo game coming out. And right now, I think when you're playing a lot of Call of Duty games and you're talking about it a lot, it gets kind of old. But not a lot of people talk about Halo 4 that much, so I'm going with Halo 4 for this one.
Gotcha. And Wilbur, you said Black Ops?
Yeah, I did find it was a lot of fun. It's kind of a new game, so I mean you haven't had tons of time to mess around with it, but it is quite fun and addictive. So it's another add-on to the Call of Duty franchise in general, but I don't know. Overall, I liked it a lot.
Gotcha. I guess no definitive game out of this category. So the best were basically Halo 4, Max Payne 3, and Black Ops 2. So moving on to action and adventure, Dishonored, Assassin's Creed 3, Sleeping Dogs, and Far Cry 3. Out of these, I picked Assassin's Creed 3. I was never into Assassin's Creed, but recently kind of took the time to learn the story and played some of it and watched my roommate play other parts of it. And just from seeing the game and seeing the improvements that were made from previous games, from previous Assassin's Creeds, I think that it's a really good game, a lot of twists and turns throughout the story. So I thought it was a great game. But this was a tough category for me. Sleeping Dogs is also really good, and Far Cry 3, but I just had to go with Assassin's Creed.
I've personally, until recently, I heard about Sleeping Dogs, and I was like, oh, that's pretty awesome. But I definitely have to give it to Assassin's Creed 3, just because I know I was one of the ones just waiting, just like, oh my god, this is going to be so awesome. And, well, the wait wasn't in vain. It was actually a really awesome game, and I loved it. So, EC3.
Okay, for me, it would be Assassin's Creed 3 like everybody else because it's just a great game. And it just has a lot of like improvements that the first two games didn't have, and it goes by American history, which is my favorite type of history. So it's just a really good game. I like going through like all the battles and stuff and seeing what kind of battles you can do and what impact and what you do in those battles impacts
Yeah.
the rest of the game. So I kind of like that aspect to it. So I give it to Assassin's Creed 3, and it's probably the second game I play when I'm not playing Halo 4. I'm playing that quite a bit.
Yeah, that was probably the coolest part, seeing like the impact you had in the different battles of American history.
Yeah.
Um, but moving on to most anticipated, if you watched the last episode of the podcast or listened to it, there was only one category, and that was for games coming out next year. But I've kind of forgot about this year's games that were most anticipated. So, this year's were Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3, Black Ops 2, Mass Effect 3, and Borderlands 2. The game that I think worked up the most hype and was most anticipated had to be Black Ops 2,
Definitely.
just by
Agreed.
far. So I think everybody agrees on that one.
Absolutely.
But for next year, we only have two games in this category, and that's The Last of Us, which is exclusive to PS3, and Grand Theft Auto 5. This one was tough, but I had to go with The Last of Us because that game just looks downright amazing. What about you guys?
I have to go with The Last of Us because it kind of looks like that game that's like a prequel to Uncharted, but it's really not Uncharted. It's based off the engine of Uncharted, so I have to go with The Last of Us. I think we've seen like one or two trailers for it, but it looks like a pretty sweet game.
What about you, Wilbur?
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I wasn't paying attention. Are we still in the most anticipated? Because if
Yes.
okay, well, it was Black Ops, obviously.
I mean, for next year.
Oh, for next year, I think it would have to go to The Last of Us 2, and I'd hate to be the one to agree yet again, but it's I mean, from what I've seen, it looks awesome, and I mean, it looks really good in like game wise, and it seems like they put a lot of effort into it, obviously, but I mean, like, it just seems like it would have a lot of meat to it and a lot of work, effort, so it seems like. Yeah, it's definitely one of the games that I would go out and wait for a midnight release. So it just seems awesome. So definitely The Last of Us.
Yeah. I mean, not that Grand Theft Auto 5 is not going to be great, I'm sure, but it's Grand Theft Auto. We've already played that. But sorry for the birds in the background.
It's burnt.
You live in Florida, don't you? Right? That's why.
Pretty sure birds are worldwide.
I don't know what a bird is, unfortunately. I'm sorry. Down here in Antarctica, it's not very common to see a bird.
Or anything for that matter.
Yeah.
So, moving on to best graphics. Halo 4, Far Cry 3, and Assassin's Creed 3. For this, I went with Far
Halo
Cry
4.
3. The game just like is really, really colorful. And everything's just very vivid, and the colors just pop. So that's why I went with Far Cry 3.
I'm gonna have to choose because of all the other games listed in that category. I have to go with Halo 4 because when you play Assassin's Creed 3, it does look really nice, but it kind of looks like you're in like a paint. Well, it kind of looks like you're in a painting, like a really nice, good painting that you're just walking through. But in like Halo 4, like there's like actual interactions with the environment that Assassin's Creed, you can jump on the tree and that's basically all you can do. But you know, but I did order Far Cry 3, so I should be getting that on Monday. So I'll see if my mind changes by then.
All right.
To me, Far Cry 3, I don't know, it looks like it's so colorful due to the fact that it's so tropical.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I wouldn't really say those are like amazing graphic. I mean, they are. I mean, they're really good, but they're not as good as like Halo 4's, in my opinion. I mean, I could definitely spend here just 4 or 5 hours just talking about the differences and how each one is pretty good. But I definitely have to give it to Halo 4.
All right, Derek, what was your vote again? Was it Halo 4?
Yeah.
All right, so Halo 4 takes that of graphics. Um, so moving to best multiplayer, Halo 4, Borderlands 2, and Black Ops 2. Um, this one was kind of tough for me, but I ended up going with Borderlands 2, mainly because it was just fun to finally play online, like 4-player co-op again with Borderlands, a new Borderlands, which is something that you don't see in a lot of other shooters now, especially Call of Duty games. So I went with Borderlands 2 for best multiplayer.
This is a tough one for me because I have both Halo 4 and Black Ops, and I think they're equally as good. But if I had to pick one, I would have to pick Black Ops 2 because in Halo 4, like when somebody quits the game, it like freezes the whole game, and then you have to like restart your Xbox to do that. And Call of Duty Black Ops 2, it's like a really seamless transition. So I have to give it to Black Ops 2.
I'd have to give it to Halo, just because of the fact that it's although it is the same thing as Black Ops, as in like we've already kind of seen some of it, we kind of already know we don't have to take baby steps. It isn't our first time playing this type of game, but Halo 4 definitely is very good. I did like it a lot, just because of the fact that like it's so easily interactive and just very seamless, as in like gaming wise. So I'd have to give it to Halo 4.
Well, that means this category was a draw. Everybody's a winner here. So yeah, moving to best sports, Madden 13, FIFA 13, NHL 13, and NBA 2K13. For me, I'm gonna be completely honest. I have not played NHL at all. FIFA, I played briefly. I'm not really into soccer too much, so I mean, I can't give a real honest opinion on it. Madden 13, good game, another Madden. One complaint I have about it though, the online is limited unless you pay for EA's like separate whatever it's called, their like pass or whatever. So out of all of these, I had to go with NBA 2K13. The depth in that game is ridiculous. Like being able to design your own shoes is crazy. Jay-Z was the producer behind it, and I think he did a really good job. So yeah, I had to go with 2K13 on that one. Do you guys have an input on this category?
I honestly don't. I can't say that I've played any of those games, and I really don't have an opinion, because if I do, it would just be completely just empty, false lies. So
I'm saying you're the voice of sports. Whoever you pick is what we're gonna pick too. So, yeah.
All right. So then moving on to the Xbox Live Arcade. I added in another game here. I almost completely forgot to add this in, but Mark of the Ninja, Dust, The Walking Dead, forgot to add that in. Minecraft and Fez, all of which are awesome games. I'll just say that right off the bat. But for me, it came down between Fez, Minecraft, and The Walking Dead. Fez was awesome. Minecraft, obviously awesome. The Walking Dead was outstanding. But, you know, when you think about it, Minecraft, we already played that before. You know, it's just from the computer. And The Walking Dead has been completely new. I mean, if you think about it, now that they have the TV show, the comic book series, and now there's a video game that's on a ton of different platforms. And the whole decision-making factor to it that's why I picked this as the best game on Xbox Live Arcade.
For me, I don't really play too many Xbox Live Arcade games, but if I do, the only one that I played so far this year that came out was Minecraft. I never really played Minecraft before, so this is my first time playing it. I thought it was alright. I mean, it wasn't like, for me, it wasn't one of those games that I would spend all day playing it, but it was a pretty cool, every now and then, just watching that game.
Jaelen, are you scratching your back?
No.
What is that like really loud graspy noise?
This noise?
Yeah.
Oh, I was just grabbing the back of
Styro-
my MacBook.
Oh, it sounds like a styrofoam or you're scratching your back. I don't know. I'd have to give it to Minecraft just because I can't say it's something refreshing and something new. It's obviously not. We've all played it on our PCs. Um, but it's definitely something that I do like playing a lot. It does need quite a bit of improvements. But I still give it to Minecraft.
The new update that came out a few days
Bless me.
ago.
Thank you.
The new
You're
update that
welcome.
came out a few days ago, that definitely added on some much needed features to the game.
It did.
But yeah, and then moving into the last category, which is DLC between Necromancer on Borderlands 2, Dawn Guard on Skyrim, and Leviathan on Mass Effect 3. This one was, I mean, it wasn't tough, but at the same time, it was sort of a harder decision. But I had to go with Leviathan because of the whole Mass Effect 3 controversy and the ending. I just thought that Leviathan was like the easy pick.
Yeah, I have to agree. I mean, that whole Mass Effect 3 ending thing was interesting to like read about, but I haven't played. I haven't played like the second Mass Effect game, and it was the demo. But I have to give to Leviathan because I think it doesn't it alter the ending a little bit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty much my reason why I picked it is because it changes the ending a little bit.
Wilbur, you are free to go.
Mass Effect.
And
Being the guy that that's interesting.
What the?
any reason why?
Who's talking to that spider again?
Wilbur, are you still in this show?
Hey guys.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I muted myself for a second.
That'll screw
Okay.
you over.
Oops. Okay. So where was I?
Damn
I
those
would
spiders.
no. I was talking about Mass Effect. I don't know. It's just like a really cool add-on.
So is that all you have to say, or are you done?
Yeah.
I think
What?
he's done. Let's just
Oh,
end
yeah,
at that.
let's say that you're
Okay.
done.
Wait. Okay.
Um,
Sorry, I kept getting disconnected. Well, not just muting myself.
Just be quiet.
so out of all these winners, best shooter was, well, it was a three-way tie between Max Payne 3, Black Ops 2, Halo 4, Assassin's Creed 3 for action adventure, most anticipated for this year, Black Ops 2, most anticipated for next year, The Last of Us, best graphics, Halo 4, best multiplayer was also a three-way tie between all of the contenders in that category. Best sports was NBA 2K13. Best on XBLA was Minecraft, and best DLC was Leviathan from Mass Effect 3. So out of all of these games, which do you guys think was the best game this year?
For me, surprisingly, the one I'm having most fun with would be Assassin's Creed 3 because it's just a really awesome game. Um, but if I had to pick like a second and a third choice, it would be Halo 4 and then Black Ops. But definitely Assassin's Creed 3 is my number one for this year.
Gotcha. For me, it came down to between two different games, which were Max Payne 3 and Borderlands 2. It was tough, but we've been without Borderlands for a few years now, and so I had to go with Borderlands 2. I haven't even played like a quarter of it. I played some of it, and then I was like, you know what? I want to go back through the first one again, so I'm currently playing through that again.
Yeah, I have the first one. Maybe we can do co-op sometime.
Yeah, we'll have to do that for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, Borderlands 2, I was so happy to hear at E3 um, that a new Borderlands was coming. So I don't know what happened to Wilbur, but Borderlands 2 was my game of the year.
Let's just be on the safe side and say Wilbur's game was Minecraft since he keeps talking about it all the time. So
I'll add him back to the call and hopefully he'll pick up.
Oh, thank God.
Okay,
yeah,
Wilbur,
Yeah.
you okay over there?
don't touch your mouse and go ahead and talk about which you think is the best game of the year.
I'm not gonna give one single. I'm not gonna give it to one single game.
Come on.
Just because.
Really, man? We both did.
You're gonna
So
be that
you know.
guy.
Well, I'm not. I'm not going to do the same. I'd have to just kind of leave it open, just
Go
because.
talk to those damn spiders again.
Try and
Sorry.
make a definitive
Answer.
game. Yeah.
I don't know. I'd have to. I'd have to give it to if I really was going
Okay,
to.
you give it down. Okay, if you can't pick one, then at least give two. Okay, just give two. Jesus.
I'd have to. I'd have to give it to. Okay, guys. See you guys next episode, where we
That
reveal.
was the
What?
worst
my answer.
cliffhanger in the history of mankind.
That was
No,
like
but in all seriousness, I'd have to give it to either Black Ops or Halo. Now that's just because I like to shoot things and not in that weird way, as in like.
damn. That was the
Game-wise.
biggest middle finger to the audience we'll could ever give.
I bet it was, and I can't say that they're wrong.
Okay, so it looks like the games of the year, since we didn't have one collective vote, was or were Halo 4 / Black Ops 2 somehow, Borderlands 2, and Assassin's Creed 3. All of which are obviously really games, and funny how all of them were all sequels in a series.
Yeah, man. I was just thinking about that. There's not like one single game.
If you had to pick a runner-up, Wilbur, you're already kind of counting out of this since you already had two. But if you had to pick a runner-up, which would it be? For me, I think between
Borderlands.
Max Payne 3 and The Walking Dead, it's tough, but I'd probably have to go with The Walking Dead, being a Walking Dead fan. But what about you, Derek? What was your runner-up?
My runner-up would be Halo 4 because, like, I'm so sick and tired of like hearing about Call of Duty games, and like, I do have to agree, like, the formula that like Call of Duty games are created is getting really stale. I mean, it needs to be able to change somehow. I mean, just because one person does it differently from the other doesn't make a whole new game. I think what makes a game a whole new game is the engine behind it. So I think Halo 4 really like had time to be developed and adapted some new engines, added some like key features to the game that it was missing, and like Black Ops 1 to Black Ops 2 is basically just as like a service pack or whatever for the Call of Duty games. But for
So
me, it
like
would be Halo 4.
So you're saying like Black Ops is like a story continuation, basically?
I'm not saying it's like a story continuation. I mean, it's like the same game, but it's like it just got an upgrade, but they put the upgrade on the disc rather than just release it through like the internet or something.
I see. I don't know. I'd have to give it to Assassin's Creed, just because I really like how like one thing will basically it's like kind of like life if you catch my drift. You do something and it's obviously going to affect something else. Domino effect. So that's really interesting. Like you have to be careful in your choices throughout the game. You can't just go around just like killing everybody, stealing everything. You know what I mean?
That's kind of why I wanted Walking Dead to be runner-up, because a decision that you make in that game, like I've never had a game where it's like you legitimately care about what happens in the game. Like any other game, like Black Ops or whatever, like you do something like, okay, whatever, I don't really care, this is a video game. But The Walking Dead, like if you choose to screw somebody over, if you choose to leave somebody behind, save somebody's life over somebody else's, you kind of, like you're like, oh, crap, like you want to pause the game, but it's just, I think they did a really good job on just not just making a really good shooter or anything like that, but really focusing on making you think before you act.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that's also coming from a Walking Dead TV show fan. But
Are you gonna get the Walking Dead shooter by Activision, that first person shooter?
I'm thinking about it. I mean, I haven't really seen much on it besides like the quick commercial that AMC
Y-
plays.
Yeah, I haven't seen much of it either.
But I mean, once I see more on it, I think I can make a better decision. Um, but yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This is just about 25 minutes long, so that's gonna wrap it up. This will probably be our last episode for the year. Um, so I just want to say thanks to you guys, Wilbur and Derek, for being on the show and making this possible. Or if not, it'd be me talking to myself for 30 minutes.
By viewers like you.
Yeah.
This is a public service, man. No, no.
But yeah, new things to come in 2013. So keep your eyes out and ears open.
I can't wait to get my hands dirty with what I'm gonna be doing next year with iJuice. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, and you guys will also probably be seeing more of Wilbur. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, that's gonna pretty much do it. Thanks for listening, and we will see you guys next year. Have a happy holidays.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.